Welcome to NACTV Reads the News. My name is Linda Dick, and I'm one of the many volunteers that help create programming for our station. NACTV can be seen on MTS Channel 30 or 1030, Westman Cable Channel 117, Bell Satellite Channel 592, or online at nactv.tv. These programs are made possible by our volunteers, staff, advertisers, as well as donations made by you, the viewers. If you are enjoying your NACTV experience, please consider supporting us by either donation or volunteering. You can contact our office at 204-476-2639. I'm reading the Neepawa Banner and Press, locally owned and operated, for Friday, June 4th, 2021. And front page, written by the Banner staff, is over 5,600 raised for Neepawa Volunteer Fire Department fundraiser. The residents of Neepawa have proved once again that they're willing to jump and help at a moment's notice, as they recently raised $5,615 for the purchase of new firefighting equipment. The fundraiser, known as We Care, was organized by Val Wilson and moderated online by Don Gardy. Throughout May, We Care rallied the community to donate via cash, check, or e-transfer. People who dropped off cash or check donations of at least $25 at the municipal office were entitled to a tax-deductible receipt. Through their efforts, they were able to raise enough fundraising to purchase a wide array of firefighting equipment. The list of items that are to be purchased through this fundraiser include one set of LED road flares, one windshield glass cutting kit, 2 drip torches, 2 Bad Axe hand tools, 2 50-foot hoses, 3 True North straps, 3 snagger tools, 6 helmet lights, and 10 pairs of extrication gloves. On Tuesday, June 1st, representatives with the town of Neepawa commended everyone who was involved with making the fundraiser as successful as it was. Thank you for donating and supporting your fire department. And a big shout out to Val Wilson and friends who made this happen in May. Town officials stated this via social media. Members of the Neepawa Volunteer Fire Department include Richmond Tubog, Ronald Santos, Dave Humany, Jared Filipchuk, Tyler Blondeau, Zach Woolman, Jason Hartle, Bailey Gardy, Jeff Kobacki, Dwayne Gardy, Kennedy Baker, Albert Hamas, Jordan Hartle, Brad Wilson, Mike Speece, Tim Speece, Rob Flipchuk, Bodie Speece, Derek McGorman, Craig Unger, Wiley Speece, Aaron Vandenbush, Glenn Bagalugan, Mark Zepek, and Terry Speece. The Beautiful Plains Community Foundation announces its grant recipients for the year. Nearly 175,000 distributed throughout the community. And this article is written by Kira Patterson. The Beautiful Plains Community Foundation announced the recipients of this year's grants last week during a live broadcast on NACTV. The foundation distributed $174,855 in grants, scholarships, and various funds. Normally, the foundation hosts an annual grant luncheon where all the recipients are invited and the grants are announced for the year. Due to restrictions on gathering during the COVID-19 pandemic, a luncheon was not on the table for 2021. This year we decided with the COVID-19 pandemic to broadcast our grant announcements live on NACTV as opposed to our typical grant luncheon that we would typically host, explained Brent Sorensen, Beautiful Plains Community Foundation Board President. While there was a change in format, there was no change to the BPCF's purpose, giving money to local organizations to help enrich the community. The foundation serves not only the town of Neepawa, but also the rural municipalities of Glenella, Lansdowne, Rosedale, and the Langford portion of North Cypress Langford. During the broadcast, Sorensen, along with BPCF board members Ann Kaharski, Jeff Miner, and Brad Walker, announced the grants, designated funds, and scholarships given out this year. They also had comments from a few of the receiving organizations, giving details on what their grants were or will be used for. The Community Fund is the foundation's main source of money for grants. Any donations made to the fund are added to their investment, the interest from which gets used for the grants each year, so all donations will keep giving year after year. Grants from the Community Fund are applied for by organizations, and the board decides which applicants will receive what they request. This year, a total of $75,402 was distributed from the Community Fund to 15 different recipients. The 2021 grants from the Community Fund are follows. Franklin Memorial Hall, $7,500 for lights, moving a donated building onto hall property, and operating support. The Neepawa Golf and Country Club, $7,500 for deck replacement and upgrade. Neepawa Chapter of Victoria Quilts Canada, $2,500 to purchase supplies for quilts. Beautiful Plains Museum, $2,500 to replace their furnace. Touchwood Park Association, $12,000 to help furnish the kitchen in the new day program building. NACTV, $2,500 for equipment upgrades. Arts Forward, $2,000 for flooring replacement and refinishing. RM of Rosedale, $5,000 for building the bathrooms in the new Kelwood skating rink. Polonia Community Hall gets $3,000 for renovations, including insulation as well as insurance. The Neepawa Kinsman Senior Housing Incorporation received $12,575 for appliances, dining and guest room furniture, and supplies for the new Kinsman Courts 2 complex. Neepawa Cooperative Play Center, $2,920 for sunshade sails and poles. Bernie Community Club, $5,000 for exterior doors. Seeds and Sprouts Early Learning Center, $5,000 for playground development. Neepawa Bird Sanctuary, $304 for fencing. And Margaret Lawrence Home, $4,322 for roof repairs. The Field of Interest funds are used for grants in certain fields specified by the donor who established the fund. The Contact Manitoba grant is a field of interest fund specifically intended to benefit arts organizations. This year, the grant of $230 went to Neepawa Theatre Center, which is the community organization that runs the Roxy Theatre. Designated funds are similar, however. Rather than just specifying a certain field, these funds are designated for charities chosen by the donor that started the fund. Designated funds through the Beautiful Plains Community Foundation are as follows. Naomi Chapter 11, Order of the Eastern Star Fund. $210 to the Neepawa District Health Center. Touchwood Park Association Fund. Neepawa District Health Center Fund. Country Meadows Personal Care Home Fund, $7,530 this year. Country Meadows Courtyard Fund, $180 this year. The Allen Lytle Memorial Fund, $350 to the Manitoba Heritage Trust. Margaret Lawrence Fund. Arts Stability Fund, $1,520 for Arts Forward this year. Independent Order of Odd Fellows and Rebecca Lodge Fund, $220 for the Bells, Bow, and Builders 4-H Club. $600 to Neepawa Minor Ball Association, and $1,080 for the Neepawa Area Collegiate Band to purchase instruments. Riverside Cemetery Fund, $230 this year. Neepawa Softball Baseball Association Facility Fund gets $215 this year. Beautiful Plains Museum Fund, $5,040. Neepawa Collegiate Alumni Fund, Manitoba Heritage Trust, Margaret Lawrence Home Committee Fund. The scholarship funds go to students who excelled at, focused on, or are continuing their education in the donor's area of interest. The scholarships are also considered designated funds. A total of $12,075 is being given out in scholarships this year between 11 different scholarship funds. Altogether, the designated funds total $82,693 this year. Donor advised grants. The recipients of these grants are chosen by the donor or the donor's named successor annually. 2 donors benefited 3 organizations through these grants this year. The 2 Small Coins Fund from the Milligan family distributed $485 to the Neepawa Figure Skating Club for a music system upgrade. They also gave $295 to the Neepawa Bird Sanctuary for fencing. The Harvey Kaharski Memorial Fund, established in memory of Shirley Kaharski, gave Touchwood Park $3,000 to help furnish the kitchen in their new day program building. Youth Advisory Committee grants. The Youth Advisory Committee is a group at NACI that is sponsored by the Community Foundation to give out grants each year. They are funded through the Foundation's NACI Philanthropy Fund, which $2,500 each year in addition to what they earn through fundraising at school. This year, the Youth Advisory Committee had $2,975 to distribute. The grants from them are as follows. Neepawa Breakfast Club gets $500. This is for equipment to help lower the cost for participants. Touchwood Park receives $425 for equipment for the new day program building. Neepawa Community Ministries Center, which is also known as Salvation Army, received $300 to support their community garden. The Neepawa Men's Shed received $425 to build lockers for the Buds in Bloom Early Learning Center. The Margaret Lawrence Home received $500 to help with the new shingling project. Country Meadows gets $400 for patio chairs for outdoor visits. And Cats TNR received $425 for cages to capture feral cats to spray and vaccinate. Follow-through grants. Gaynor Vivian made a commitment to donate $10,000 each year from 2015 to 2025, the whole amount of which would be donated to recipients of his choice annually. The $10,000 for this year was distributed between 4 organizations. Seeds and Sprouts, $4,000 for outdoor playground equipment. Hazel M. Kellington School received $750 for their Food for Thought program. Neepawa Middle School received $750 for the same Food for Thought program. Neepawa Community Ministries Center received $4,500 for video equipment to allow them to stream online programming. Sorensen thanked all the board members and the Beautiful Plains Community Foundation Executive Director, Brenda Krischuk, as well as the community for supporting the foundation's work. Those funds that you donate to us as the Beautiful Plains Community Foundation sit in perpetuity, and the interest earned is granted back into our community each year. We have now given out half of the amount that we have sitting in our local endowment funds, and that number will continue to grow each and every year, he stated. I do want to thank all of you, our donors, who continue to support the foundation. Without your support, this time would not be possible, and these commitments that we are making to our community would not be possible. So thank you for your continued support. Next article is written by Christine Waddell, and it's entitled, The Landrys Motored to Neepawa. And Carl Landry poses with his 1937 Plymouth. He and his wife Anne drove to Neepawa on May 31st. Yes, that is how they worded district news and events back in the day. Mr. and Mrs. Anne Carl Landry motored to Neepawa in their 1937 Plymouth on May 31st to purchase items discovered on Neepawa online garage sale / marketplace. Waddell spied the snappy car in the parking lot on First Avenue and had to inquire about this beautifully restored gem. Carl kept the story short and sweet. Found in a farmer's pasture over 30 years ago and purchased for $5. Landry, a retired teacher from Minnedosa, admits he doesn't have the mechanic or auto body skills to achieve his dream ride. With the help of a few and many skilled friends, he succeeded. Taking over 8 years, the outcome was in stages. First drive was with 37 steering and brakes and a motor out of a combine. No way was Landry going to drive with that. He wanted something he could take on the highway and really enjoy every summer. With the 350 Chevy motor, power steering, and power brakes, the Landrys have had nearly 25 years of driving pleasure. The sight of them on the road brings smiles and memories to all who appreciate style and workmanship. Homebodies by Rita Friesen. It's the simple things. Stepping out the door at 4 of the a.m. is not one of my favorite things to do, but we do every morning, for that is when Miss Daisy decrees it is time to get comfortable. In winter, it is a very quick in and out, but now all three of us are relaxed and taking in the freshness of the morning. The robins signal the start of the day. The sky in the east is beginning to glow. Some mornings, when the wind is from the east, the hum of the plant is a soft background noise. I hear the sound of falling water from the fountain that has been a part of my life for a very long time. Waiting for the dogs to make the round of the yard, being so grateful that my yard is fenced and I don't have to follow them, I embrace the moments of quiet before retreating to the warmth of my bed for another couple of hours. A simple pleasure. My morning cup of coffee never fails to fill me with gratitude and energy. One of my cousins maintains that this black magic, taken as prescribed, rich and dark, is a painkiller. Better than any tablet we pop to ease the aches of joints and headaches. I can say from experience that after a slow cup of the elixir, my mind and muscles are ready for the day. Just one slow, appreciated cup most days, though I've been known to go to the second. A simple pleasure. The breakfast routine. My breakfast routine has not changed in my adult lifetime. Cold cereal, usually a wheat base, with a banana, and when they are on sale, an orange. Given a preference, I would alternate that with pancakes and bacon, but I can't start my day cleaning up after myself. The enjoyment of the food is canceled by the splattered bacon grease and batter drips. Isn't that sad? I know myself well, so cold cereal and no mess it is. And still, it is a simple pleasure. My days would be much quieter and easier and emptier if I did not have my dogs. My heart smiles as I watch them sit patiently waiting for breakfast to be over and our bowls placed on the floor for them to lick clean. We make sure there's enough left to make it worth their while, adding a bit of milk if we've consumed too much. They know by the sound of the spoon on the bowl when it is time, sit up and take serious notice. They never snap at each other, and they need to share a bowl or a plate, and after that, 3 ounces of milk. Henry Hoover needs to be let out. He moves with purpose to the door, and like a child needing to go pee, he dances from foot to foot until the door opens. Never fails. A simple pleasure. In this time of restrictions, may it not always be so. I need to look more closely at the blessings that surround me, the comfort of family and friends. Incredible pleasures. And now, out of Helen's Kitchen by Helen Drysdale, Opening the Railway. On April 3rd, 1929, the last spike was driven on the Hudson Bay Rail Line. All those hard-working men with pickaxe, shovel, and wheelbarrow brought 500 miles of railway track from the Paw to Churchill. With the completion of the port facilities in 1931, the port was officially declared open. Total cost, $50 million. This thriving seaport of the prairies was not quite as successful as it was hoped it was going to be. However, it was busy. The average shipments of about 500,000 tons of grain shipped through the port most years. In 1977, the record was set when an all-time high of 816,000 tons were shipped, and a 30-year record high of 620,000 tons in 2007. In the years following, the port continued to export grain as well as other prairie products, to name a few. Including honey, lumber, and livestock, as well as import vehicles, tractors, and liquor, to name a few. The railway was instrumental in the development of northern mines, as the discovery of mineral deposits such as zinc, copper, and gold were found around the Paw, Thompson, Flin Flon, and other northern places. In 1997, the Liberal government under Jean Chrétien sold the railroad and port to a private company based out of Denver, Colorado, called Omnitrax. They paid the basement bargain price of $10 million for the Hudson Bay Railway from the Paw to Churchill, and $11 million for the Port of Churchill. In 2015, the Conservatives, under Stephen Harper, dissolved the Canadian Wheat Board, and this led to a direct loss in shipping from the Port of Churchill. Omnitrax closed the port in 2016 and ended its rail freight service as well. They had not maintained the tracks properly for numerous years, reducing the number of section men to keep the track in repair. The railway now was only used to transport tourists and supplies to the remote northern town. In 2017, due to excess rainfall and the elimination of the beaver dam removal program the year earlier, the rail line was washed away in 26 spots along a 290-kilometer stretch. This shut down the railway line. It's ironic that the beavers' activity flooded the tracks. The North was traveled to and explored during the 18th and 19th centuries to purchase furs to satisfy the demand for beaver pelts when the fashion for beaver fur hats was at its peak. Trapping for beaver and other animal fur fell out of favor in the mid-1900s, and by the 1970s, with the animal rights movement, fur was not the fashion item to be seen wearing. This led to expanding beaver populations, especially in the north. Man and beaver are the two species on Earth that can change the natural environment. Busy as a beaver are these little engineers. They build dams to impound water that changes the natural water flow, and as a result, they flood roads, railways, homes, and acres of trees that will die from the flooding. The railway companies hire men to destroy the dams to help prevent drainage disruptions and keep the tracks safe and in good repair. In August 2018, the line and port was sold to the Arctic Gateway Group. The federal government decided that they would help to fund the purchase of the railway and port facilities back from Omnitrax. Part of the $117 million the federal government committed to was to repair the tracks, as it needed 2 decades worth of proper maintenance. $45 million on track repairs began on September 8, 2018. On September 15, 2018, a train derailment on a washed-out rail bridge near Ponton resulted in the death of the conductor. On October 31, 2018, locals cheered as a train entered Churchill for the first time since the Hudson Bay Railway line was damaged. In 2019, the port resumed exporting grain, and the new owners hope to expand the shipping of grain in this vital transportation link to the north. Tourism is also resumed for the people who want to see polar bears, beluga whales, and northern lights. Should you get the urge to take a unique experience and take the train to Churchill for a holiday, you can have breakfast on the train or bring your own breakfast. I think this recipe would make good breakfast travel cookie as you view the landscape going by. And Helen's recipe is the oatmeal breakfast cookie. Schoonbart is the new CEO of Prairie Mountain Health by Owen Devereaux. There has been a change in leadership for Prairie Mountain Health as Brian Schoonbart has been named the new Chief Executive Officer of the Regional Health Authority. He has taken over the position from Penny Gilson, who retired on May 31st after serving 9 years as CEO. Schoonbart brings a wealth of experience to his new post, as he was the former CEO of Brandon Regional Health Authority before the last amalgamation of the provincial health authorities before 2012. From 2012 to 2018, he was the Prairie Mountain Health Vice President of Finance, Capital Support Services, and Chief Operating Officer of Brandon Regional Health Centre. Since 2018, Schoonbart has been involved in several projects related to the Provincial Transformation Management Office. In a media release announcing the change, acting PMH Board Chair Mark Frizen said the board is optimistic that Schoonbart's leadership will greatly assist in advancing the RHA's strategic goals. Brian comes with the requisite wealth of experience related to both the provincial healthcare sector and within the health region. We are indeed fortunate to have him take the lead of our organization and look forward to working with him in his new role, stated Friesen. Schoonbart, meanwhile, has noted that he is excited for the opportunity to rejoin Prairie Mountain Health. I'm looking forward to reconnecting and engaging once again with the staff at Prairie Mountain Health after my secondment to the Transformation Management Office. I entered this new role knowing that I am not performing it alone, but rather alongside an incredible team of 7,500 individuals who, like me, are dedicated and committed to providing quality health care services to the residents of Prairie Mountain Health. Spruce Plains RCMP report submitted by Corporal Jacob Stanton. During the week of May 24th to May 30th, Spruce Plains RCMP dealt with 58 police activities. On the 24th, RCMP responded to a report of a missing person in Minnedosa. After an extensive search, the person was located safely and returned home. Police were dispatched to a 911 hang-up call in Minnedosa. It was determined that it was accidentally dialed by a child in the residence. Police received a report of a cow on the highway in the RM of Rosedale. After conducting extensive patrols, it was determined the cow had moved along. On the 25th, RCMP received a report of mischief in Minnedosa, where someone was banging on the door of a residence. Patrols were made with negative result. Police received a report of an organization not complying with current public health orders in the RM of Rosedale. Police attended, gave a verbal warning to a representative of the organization. On the 26th, RCMP responded to a public health complaint in Gladstone, where a person was reported not complying with current health orders. After investigation, It was determined there was insufficient evidence to proceed further. On the 27th, RCMP conducted a COVID compliance check at a residence in Neepawa. All persons were found complying with quarantine regulations. Police responded to a vehicle fire in the municipality of Westlake Gladstone. An alcohol screening test was administered to the driver, which resulted in a warning level. The vehicle was towed, the driver was given a driving suspension and a ticket. On the 28th, RCMP received a complaint of persons not complying with current public health orders in Minnedosa. The matter is still under investigation. A wallet was found and turned into the Neepawa detachment, which was returned to its owner shortly after. Police engaged with several motorists and issued tickets for various Highway Traffic Act infractions. On May 29th, RCMP received a breach of peace complaint at a residence in Minnedosa, which was called off by the complainant. Shortly after, police responded to a report of assault, which was related to the earlier breach of peace complaint. Charges were declined by the victim, and the suspect was taken into custody until sober. On May 30th, RCMP responded to a report of an intoxicated person in Neepawa, where the complainant was concerned about the person driving impaired. Police attended and located the subject of complainant and found them to be sober with no cause for concern. Police conducted a well-being check on a person in Neepawa and responded to a report of mischief in Minnedosa. RCMP conducted 21 traffic enforcement actions during this reporting period. And that's your RCMP report. (1961), Verla Doble graduates from the School of Nursing. Verla Doble, formerly of Eden, graduated from Winnipeg's General School of Nursing in 1961. She was one out of just over 100 graduates to participate in the ceremonies held that year on May 15th. And submitted by Casper Wareham, Neepawa Veterinarian Clinic had a helping hand. The Neepawa Veterinary Clinic had an extra pair of hands recently from May 10th to May 28th. Julia Butterfield of Laurier was at the facility for a practicum placement as part of her schooling. Butterfield has lived on a farm her whole life and as a result has had plenty of experience with a variety of animals. This interest is what led her to pursue a career as a veterinary technician, or vet tech, and further her education at Red River Collegiate. I really enjoy working with larger animals, cows and horses, so I wanted to be able to fix things when they got sick, said Butterfield. To learn different techniques and take them home to the farm to help my dad with our cows. Throughout her education, Butterfield has learned of a variety of diseases and how to treat them, take blood, give IVs, and much more. Vet techs are lab technicians. As anesthesiologists, we give vaccines. We're basically the nurse to the doctor, said Butterfield. Butterfield added, the college picks your placement for you, but Neepawa was one of my first choices. It's close to my home, and I really liked how they did large and small animals. I've really enjoyed it. It's a good environment to work in, and we get to do lots of different things, lots of surgeries. Though Butterfield doesn't yet know exactly where she wants to go, she does know exactly the type of area she would like to serve. after she finishes her next and final year of schooling. I'm hoping to go to a rural clinic because I like dealing with large animals and small animals. Hopefully somewhere close to home as well, Butterfield expressed. Sharing her final thoughts, Butterfield extended her thanks to the Neepawa community, staffing, and said, "I'm really thankful to Neepawa for letting me have this experience. I really enjoyed it here, and I think I've learned lots." And submitted by the 4-H Manitoba, applications open for 4-H scholarships. Manitoba 4-H Council Incorporating is offering 4 scholarships with a total value of $42,500 towards continuing education. These are available to current and former 4-H Manitoba members who must be between 18 and 30 years of age as of December 31st and have been enrolled in the program for a minimum of 5 years. We are pleased to be able to offer these new scholarships not only to current 4-H members, but also to alumni who either deferred post-secondary education right after school or those looking to return to further studies, said Candace Tolton, president of Manitoba 4-H Council. We very much appreciate the investment made by the Manitoba government, which will fund these annual awards. To apply, students must write an essay on how their education will enable them to take a future leadership role in agriculture, environmental sustainability, or their community. Then they must submit this together with a summary of their 4-H and community involvement and career plans to the 4-H office in Brandon, either by email or Canada Post. A short list of applicants will be selected for interview. Application forms are available at 4h.mb.ca. The application deadline is July 16th, 2021, and the winners will be announced September 30th, 2021. Owen Devereaux submitted builder selected to work on Neepawa's new police station. The town of Neepawa is wasting little time in getting to work on construction of the new RCMP building. On Tuesday, June 1st, Council approved the tender of LCL Construction, a company based out of Carman, to build the facility at a cost of just over $4.4 million. LCL was one of 11 construction companies that had submitted a bid. 2 of those 11 initial bidders was rejected from the final decision due to late arrival of the formal bid and incomplete paperwork, respectively. The proposed structure will be 7,664 square feet, a little over twice the size of the current building in use by the Spruce Plains RCMP. The facility will be constructed on the vacant land directly south of the new fire hall. It will feature expanded office and meeting spaces, as well as upgraded cell capacity. The initial price estimated for the construction is believed to be around $5 million. The lease agreement between Neepawa and the RCMP will see the town pay for the initial construction costs and then be reimbursed over the next few years with interest. On Sunday, May 30th, Amanda Nottingale and Stephen Gale put down brand new paint lines at the Neepawa Community Ministries building parking lot better known as Salvation Army. These spaces are clearly marked, allowing easy access for both regular and disabled parking. So a fresh coat of paint for Neepawa's favorite thrift store. And there's pictures here of the Beautiful Plains Community Foundation donating to Touchwood Park Association. And submitted by Kira Patterson, schools preparing for second grad with COVID-19 restrictions. This will be the second school year ending under COVID-19 restrictions, and yet there seems to be even more uncertainty with how graduation celebrations might happen this year. The Banner and Press reached out to area schools to see if they had plans for graduation, and many responded saying that they're waiting until the next round of restrictions is set to expire, which will be June 12th, before they make anything public. A couple of schools, however, have shared their tentative plans, noting that it will all depend on what the health orders allow at the time. Nathan Dimitri, principal of Glenella School, shared what plans they have so far. "We are waiting for restrictions to relax to have graduation," stated Dimitri. "The plans that we have in place for graduation this year is for an outdoor drive-in style grad. We have 2 students graduating, spaced 6 feet apart on the stage. They will wear their masks when they are not seated. Family members will have to remain in their vehicle while family vehicles are parked 6 feet apart. That is if we are permitted to have outdoor gatherings of 10 people by June 18th. In Neepawa, a little less detail was available, but Neepawa Area Collegiate Principal Kelvin Hollier did share what they know so far. NACI is still planning their ceremonies and will follow the public regulations that are in effect a few days before the ceremonies, Hollier said. "Our current plan is to do something very similar to last year and will follow the drive-in, drive-up model that allows for grads and parents to socially distance." Last year at NACI, the graduates were seated socially distanced in the football field, with family members in their vehicles parked around the outside of the running track. They also had a graduate parade. However, it is unclear whether that sort of event will be allowed this year. The parent committees are working on a few things, like a walk of fame and some type of socially distanced parade as well. It might have to be a reverse parade, but the parents and grads are still looking into options that meet the public health regulations, explained Hollier. The plan is to have their grad on Saturday, June 26th, but the start time has not been decided yet. "We will probably wait for the week before grad before we lock things in and carve them in stone." He added that they have several versions of the ceremony figured out to best suit what the regulations might be at the time. "We are prepared for ceremonies with only 1 grad allowed at a time, and will be prepared for a ceremony which has the entire class." As for what other area schools will be doing, the Banner and Press hopes to share those details in the weeks ahead. Sewing community support. Field seating just west of the Neepawa Airport occurred on May 26th. This work is part of the annual Neepawa Airport Farming Project, which is jointly administered by the Neepawa Curling Club and the Yellowhead Center. The 2 facilities annually invest for the crop inputs and insurance, and then share the profits on a 50-50 basis. Over the last few years, Enns Brothers in Neepawa has assisted in the seeding process. By Owen Devereaux, Pfizer vaccine to be distributed in Neepawa. The next round of pop-up clinics in Neepawa will offer an additional COVID-19 vaccine option. Late last week, Prairie Mountain Health released its schedule for clinics across the region. For Neepawa, there will be a total of 5 dates in June set for the Yellowhead Center Hall. 3 of those days, June 17th, the 24th, and the 28th, will feature the Moderna vaccine, which has been used for all the other local previously scheduled clinics. On June 3rd and 29th, however, there will be clinics held that administer Pfizer vaccine. Up until this point in time, Pfizer had primarily been used at super sites due to very specific requirements needing to be followed with its storage and travel. The Banner and Press reached out Prairie Mountain Health for clarification on why the Pfizer vaccine would now be able to be shipped to the pop-up clinics, but had not received a response before the publication deadline. The listed clinics are for first and second dose eligibility. Pfizer clinics' first dose eligibility is 12 years and older. The Moderna clinics' first dose eligibility is 18 years and older. The current eligibility criteria for second doses as of June 2nd is you received your first dose by April 20th or earlier. All Indigenous people ages 12 and up. People with priority health conditions, that is, receiving hemodialysis, liver cirrhosis, severe heart failure, received or to receive solid organ transplant, receiving chemotherapy, etc. The following locations are where the immunizations for the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines will be available. June 3rd and 29th at the Yellowhead Center from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Moderna, June 17th, 24th, and 28th at the Yellowhead Center from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Appointments for eligible individuals can be made by calling this number, 1-844-626-8222. And an article submitted by Kira Patterson, Vigo's Kitchenette to open its own location. Vigo's Kitchenette Mini Mart will be opening soon at 390 Mountain Avenue in Neepawa. A local food business in Neepawa is expanding soon. Vigo's Kitchenette, which currently operates out of the Arts Forward and sells products at Neepawa Fresh Mart, formerly the Shop Easy, is in the process of opening their own location. The business, run by Catherine Vigo and her husband Oliver, sells popular Filipino cuisine, which Catherine cooks in the commercial kitchen at Arts Forward. They have been in business since November of 2019 without their own storefront location, but all that is about to change. Vigo's Kitchenette Mini Mart will be opening soon at 390 Mountain Avenue. Catherine noted that this new shop came up together very quickly. We planned the Mini Mart in just a short time, actually. What happened is that we saw the place was available, we checked it out, and the same day we figured out what are the things that can be done there. So I contacted the owner and talked about what we wanted to do, and we agreed on everything. So we made plans on how to materialize our plans into action. Still running the business in the meantime, they worked on getting the store ready on the side. It's very hard to start, actually, especially in our case, because it's just me and my husband and my kids, Catherine said. But eventually we're here, it's almost there, and done. She explained that there was multiple reasons they wanted to expand with their own store, both for the business and for their customers. We are happy that a lot of people are supporting Vigo's Kitchenette from the very start. That's why we want to serve more for all of them. We are very inspired to do more for all of our customers, she added. The exciting part is that you can pre-order your food fresh from me every day, and of course we'll be having a lot of freshly pre-packed foods. Not only will the mini mart be stocked with Vigo's food, but it will be expanding with more products as well. We really want to generate another source of income. That's why my husband and I always talk and change ideas on what to do next. And we thought that groceries are essentials, so why not try? We will be selling Asian groceries, fresh and frozen veggies, meat from pork, chicken and beef, and a lot more. Catherine noted that they've had a few people asking if products would still be available at Neepawa Fresh Mart. Yes, our products will still be available as usual at Fresh Mart and also at other stores. She will also still be cooking at Arts Forward for now. I can cook at Arts Forward anytime because I'm the only one who's operating the kitchen, she said, but we have plans of putting up a licensed kitchen in the mini mart to have full access in one place to save time and money as well. So watch out for that, she added. As of Monday, May 31st, Catherine said she was busy entering items into the point of sale system, and they're just waiting on one key piece of equipment to arrive before they can open. Hopefully we will be open on this Thursday, June 3rd, she stated. We are excited to see you all there. And reading our one obituary for June 4th, it is with great sadness that we announce the passing of our dear mother, Colleen Louise Palouk, nee McLernon. Mom passed away on December 30th after a short fight against bone marrow cancer. She leaves to mourn Edward, her husband of 58 years, daughters Leah, Anita, Adele, and son Charles, grandchildren Brittany, Christopher, and Samantha, and great-grandchildren Aurora and Lincoln. She also leaves to mourn her sisters Maureen, Nancy, and Charlene, and brother Don. Mom was born in Winnipeg, but raised by her aunt, Florence Hodgkin, in Carberry, Manitoba. Mom had a variety of jobs, with the last job being a courier with United Messenger after retiring from the Winnipeg Tax Centre. She was a member of Orange Lodge, Royal Purple, and the Manitoba Orchid Society. Thank you to the staff on 3 Unit 5-7 of the Seven Oaks Hospital and Dr. Deo of Cancer Care. Cremation has taken place, and she will be interred in the Carberry Cemetery with a memorial service at a later date. And from the Carberry, North Cypress, Langford, submitted by Gladwin Scott. Community profile, Nolan Finley. Nolan Finley is a member of the Carberry Collegiate 2021 graduating class. He needs 4 credits this term: English, Essential Math, family life, and physical education. Nolan does some camera work with WCG-TV, especially United Church Services. Some people who have had a positive influence on Nolan's life include his father, Roland, teachers Ryan Robson and Bob Clark, plus Reverend Peggy Reed and Dennis Single. Following graduation, Nolan plans to enter the workforce. And also submitted by Gladwin Scott, the three sons of Craig and Toby Geekie in Strathclair are all high-profile, successful athletes. Noah is a southpaw pitcher and outfielder in his first year studying at Emporia State University in Kansas and playing baseball for the Hornets. He was an all-conference outfielder and second-team all-academic with Barton Cougars for 2 years at the junior college. The middle son, between Morgan, 22, and Connor, 17, is 20 years old, 6'3", 198 pounds, and was a member of the Oak River Dodgers, who were Southwest Baseball League champions in 2018, 2019, and 2020. Although Noah was an excellent hockey player with the Yellowhead Chiefs under 18 team, who were league finalists in 2017 and was drafted 42nd by the Calgary Hitmen of the WHL, he chose to go the baseball route. His present Emporia coach, Seth Wheeler, described Noah as a hard worker with strong leadership skills, easy to like, and high expectations for himself. As of mid-May, Geekie was hitting .262 with 3 homers, 6 stolen bases, and 24 runs in 39 games. He really enjoys his teammates, coaches, and studying at Emporia. He is also very proud of his 2 brothers, Morgan, who's with the Carolina Hurricanes in the NHL playoffs, and Connor, who recently returned from the Regina bubble as the WHL Rookie of the Month for April. Noah has returned home for the summer and is in quarantine for 2 weeks. He plans to play with Okotoks, Alberta in the Western Canadian League, if it operates, or the Oak River Dodgers in the Southwest Manitoba League. And I'd also like to read from Gladwin Scott, here and there. The 2021 school year has been like no other. However, with graduation scheduled for Monday, June 28th, it's difficult to determine what will be permitted. School elections were postponed, but Matthew Sellen will continue as president for a 3rd year. Most sports activities were canceled or postponed, and the MHSAA motto states it well, the other half of education. The 2021 Carberry Collegiate graduating class is loaded with athletically talented students. It is great to see graduation signs popping up around town. Experts from Carberry Council minutes. Stiles Masonry received $5,195 for repair work on 41 Main Street. Brad Graham is the new chairman of the Downtown Revitalization Committee. Attempts are underway to revive the Carberry Chamber of Commerce. Graham has recommended that the old bank at 33 Main Street be raised. Melanie Lavich has been selected as the new Arts Council coordinator. The council is looking for a new handy van. Public Works has been granted 2 green team positions. The council is looking, new handy van. The Manitoba government has warned that over 0.12 milligram a liter of manganese in the water is harmful to infants and children. Grady Stevenson has successfully completed his studies for the CAO certification from the University of Manitoba. Sprucedale Industries, based in Austin, Manitoba, has opened up a brand new $120,000 greenhouse. Sprucedale Industries is an organization that provides day programming for individuals with disabilities and runs a supported independent living program. Southwest Health is moving forward with a nurse practitioner-led model of care in the Lorne Memorial Hospital, Somerset and Swan Lake clinics. 2 nurse practitioners are presently employed, with a third coming in early July. Their 2 international doctors are moving. Southwest Horizon School Division held a by-election for a vacant seat in Ward 4, which is in Souris, on May 4th. There were 2,042 eligible voters, and only 2%, turned out to vote. And submitted by Manitoba Pork Council, maximizing the value of manure nutrients. Manitoba hog farmers adopt new and emerging nutrient management methods, technology, and best management practices, optimizing the benefits of manure fertilizer and reducing the environmental impact of hog farming. Farmers must file annual manure management plans designed and managed by registered manure management planners. This involves soil testing each field before manure is applied to determine application rates based on the nutrient levels each crop needs. Manure is applied at certain times of the year to prevent runoff and protect our waterways. Using manure as fertilizer is nutrient recycling at its best, reducing the need for synthetic and imported fertilizer. Manitoba hog farmers have made significant progress over the past decades in improving manure management practices and protecting our natural resources. Using proven scientific methods and third-party expertise, hog farmers are responsible stewards of the land, focused on safeguarding natural resources for future generations. And submitted by Office of the MP, MP Dan Mazur introduces Internet Accountability Law. Member of Parliament Dan Mazur taking on Canada's telecommunication industry to fight for the Canadians who have felt cheated, misled, and ripped off by the nation's internet companies. Mazur recently introduced Bill C-299, a piece of legislation that would require Canadian internet service providers to provide the public with accurate and transparent information regarding the internet quality they can realistically expect to receive during the hours they are most likely going to use the service. And by Casper Wareham, Wise Kinetic Energy helps kids get into STEM. Women in Science and Engineering, known as WISE, Kinetic Energy is going virtual this summer, and the nonprofit organization, which is an outreach program from the University of Manitoba, traditionally traveled to bring workshops to the classroom in order to bolster participation of youth in science, technology, engineering, and math fields. In particular, they put specific focus on those who may face extra barriers getting into the field, such as girls, girl-identified youth, First Nations youth, and youth facing socio-economic challenges. So what it's done is strengthened our capacity to reach youth all over Manitoba, said B. Cron, the Girls Initiative Coordinator. Kids registered for our programs will have the opportunity to connect with other kids from all over Manitoba. Each day will start with a virtual game that students will play with their instructors and the other kids in the Zoom meeting. And I will leave you, I should say, with, I'll get through a portion of Ken Waddell's Right in the Center, Crises Should Drive Changes. Every day we hear that the intensive care units, the ICUs in Manitoba, are nearly full, largely due to COVID-19 cases. In response to a question from the Bannering Press about ICUs, a Manitoba Shared Health spokesman said, as of May 31st, there have been 820 COVID patients admitted to ICU since the start of the pandemic. This includes 246 so far for the month of May, which is about 5 times the 50 COVID patients admitted to ICU in April. To date, 71 patients remain in ICU. 543 patients have been discharged or transferred out of ICU, and 206 have sadly died while in ICU. We all know an ICU is a very serious place to be, and with COVID-19 in Manitoba, the death rate in the ICUs is 25%, 1 in 4. Not many hospitals have ICUs. Some smaller hospitals don't even have an emergency room. Some don't have an ER 24/7. Some have special care units, and a few larger hospitals have ICUs. Manitoba ICUs are overloaded. And I'm just going to end here with Ken's point. He said, I saw a floor where the staff drank coffee, did jigsaw puzzles, and made a lot of noise for several hours at night, and other wards where they were steadily and quietly busy all night. That seems strange. And this was when he was at St. Boniface. I think the whole point is that healthcare in Manitoba is very, very good, but it also could be better. We should never be complacent about healthcare or any other function in our society. If tradition, bureaucracy, unions, rules, or regulations are getting in the way of progress, shove them aside. If COVID-19 has showed us anything, it's that we must be willing to change our system. Changes are hard and can be expensive, but not changing and adopting is a whole more expensive in dollars and lives. And a thumbs up by Christine Waddell. Appreciated Jim Krasaniak's humorous take on vaccination. We needed a smile. Well written, young fella. And that is the Banner and Press for Friday, June 4th, 2021, here in Neepawa.